My mother has a schedule that records my brother's study plan in detail. My brother's English is poor, so he communicates with my brother in English at home. When he was memorizing words, in order to create a good environment, my mother would turn off the lights and hold a candle for him. The hot candle oil was full and slowly fell into my mother's hands. My mother didn't move at all, her hands were all red, and she didn't seem to feel any pain. She just corrected my brother's English pronunciation word by word. Do you remember it now? Later my brother died. My mother said that in the future, you are my only and most precious daughter, and my mother will give you all the love she gave to my brother. My brother said that when he was memorizing things I was still crawling on the ground. When I learned to walk, my brother had already completed the 3-year primary school curriculum. When I couldn't even read addition and subtraction within 10, my brother could already have English conversations. He skipped 2 episodes and had 2 good friends who were 4 or 5 years older than my brother. My mother chose them for him. In junior high school, one is good at science and the other is good at liberal arts. Every night from 9:30 to 45, my mother will let my brother take turns to play with 2 good friends. I can't take up my brother's time for more than 10 minutes every day. Sometimes I sneak over and my mother grabs me by the back of the neck and gets me out. I swing around and make a whimper. I don't want Ultraman, I want my brother. My brother looked at me and couldn't help but smile. When I was thrown out, I heard my mother's gentle voice in the room. What were you laughing at just now? I didn't laugh at Nanshan, I looked at the test paper. Why did you get second place in this test? For you, your mother didn't even have time to take care of your sister. Every point you get is from your sister's love, you know? My brother's voice lowered. One of the questions the teacher asked was wrong. Another classmate pointed it out, and the teacher gave him an extra point. Why didn't you point it out? My brother was silent for a long time. I think he didn't dare. Since the last time my mother sent a 60-second voice message in the parent group for half an hour, my brother didn't talk to the teacher much. The second time the girl and my brother ranked first again. My mother went to the teacher overnight and talked for a long time. When she saw the test paper, the teacher praised my brother and said that he was already very good. Most classmates don't know this kind of Olympiad math problem. My mother asked the girl how could she do it without learning Olympiad math. The teacher said that they were desk mates and helped each other. My brother explained the problem to him. My mother came back with a dark face. He usually didn't lose his temper when he was angry. He called my brother up and asked him to sit in front of the computer and recite lines of code. Can't recite it, right? It's very difficult to recite, right? These codes were typed out by your father line by line. How much I suffered to be pregnant with you, and I didn't go to work to take care of you. Now the family can only rely on your father to make money. Your father worked hard to earn the money, so you are a good person like this, giving favors to your classmates. You are 11 years old, not a child anymore. Mom is not teaching you to be selfish. You should know that 1 point can squeeze out so many people. When you take the college entrance examination, 1 point can kill thousands of troops. Nanshan, one general's success is the result of thousands of bones. My brother couldn't explain it, and his silence was just a temper. Mom, so tomorrow you go to find that girl and get the money for this question back according to the tuition fee. My brother's voice was crying. No, you must go. Brother cried. I rubbed my eyes and went out to call my mother. Mom had to come over and hug me. When I returned to the room I said, Mom, the teacher said that if you regret giving something to a friend, the friend will be angry. Mom glared at me, you are still young and don't need to understand. Mom doesn't want my brother to make bad friends who love to take advantage of the situation. Especially female friends. He is older, but what's good about male friends? I saw those 2 older friends asking my brother for money, saying that they were borrowing it. My brother didn't ask his female classmate for money, he lied. He took the money from my piggy bank. 2 red ones were not enough. In the middle of the night, I waited for my mother to fall asleep, secretly got up, and gave my brother the 250s and the other Elsa can, and this one I whispered, brother will give it all to you. Brother, why are you still not asleep? My brother has been sitting at the desk. In front of him is a white paper larger than the world map, with grids on it, and 360 lines are arranged every day. It's densely packed like a beehive. He looked at the plan and arrangement of the grids on it. There are still 2 papers that haven't been finished today. I have a bitter face, but the moon has risen so high. Brother, I will go to elementary school next year, will I do the same? I am very stupid. My mother's hands are dripping with candles, and I can't recite it. My brother trembled slightly and said, no, brother is here. He touched my head and said, go to sleep. I walked to the door. My brother lowered his head and his shoulders trembled slightly. I ran over again. My brother didn't look up and tears flowed down his cheeks. That classmate helped me take duty. I skipped a grade and was younger than them. They didn't play with me. Only he played with me. He was my best friend, my only friend. I told my brother not to cry and that I would give the money to my mother tomorrow. But no, my good mother recognized the marks and numbers on the money. Every bill he gave me had a number that I in the small supermarket outside the community. I kept records with the boss's wife. At the small supermarket outside the community, we have registered a case with the boss lady. He called my brother over and asked him lovingly, "Are you hiding something from me?" My brother said no. Mom's voice became softer. "I'll ask you again, are you hiding something from me?" "No, it's always like this." Mom would be especially gentle before she got angry. She asked if you felt embarrassed. "Oh, tell Mom everything, okay?" My brother immediately said no. "How do you know what I'm asking?" My brother was about to cry. Mom said, "What did Mom teach you? Be open and bold and be confident. You can't even face such a small matter. How can you be independent in the future?" He said gently, "Mom will take you to get the money back, okay?" My brother burst into tears. "Don't be afraid if you don't want to go. Let's go now and talk it out, brother." He didn't move. Mom pulled him. My brother resisted for the first time. He shook his hand hard and hit my mother. Mom covered her arm and looked at my brother quietly for a while, then went into the room and closed the door. I breathed a sigh of relief. My brother was fine and Mom wouldn't go. My brother burst into tears. Suye's father was a cleaner. He only had 2 yuan for breakfast every morning. He had no money and went to ask for money. He would be beaten. Mom didn't care. He didn't care, didn't talk, and didn't eat. He locked himself in the room. I went to knock on the door, and Mom said it was unnecessary and went to sleep. Mom was not feeling well. My brother went to knock on the door and Mom didn't talk. The next day was the same. He got up early in the morning as usual, prepared breakfast, and then closed the door with a cold face. We thought it would be better at night. Mom sat at the dining table. There were 4 dishes and a soup on the table according to the grid. I winked at my brother. During the meal, as long as my brother took one more dish, Mom would move the plate in front of him. I could only stand up with a pout because Mom kept moving it back and forth. After my brother finished eating, he took the initiative to wash the dishes. Mom pushed his hand away with a cold face and walked into the kitchen in silence. He didn't eat a bite of food and his face looked very pale. I told Mom to eat, but Mom just threw all the dishes into the trash can. "I'm not hungry." On the 3rd day, my brother couldn't stand it anymore, and he went out in the middle of the night. After a long time, he came back with 300 yuan in his hand, which was wrinkled. His lip was bitten and covered with blood scabs. When he put the 300 yuan at the door, he burst into tears. I had never seen my brother cry so sadly. I cried too, but when my mother opened the door, he smiled. He said that the friendship in Nanshan Primary School was nothing. I couldn't even remember the names of my primary school classmates. Our future is the stars and the sea. Don't be sad. You will have many outstanding friends in the future. My brother went to the best junior high school in our city, and I went to the primary school next to the school. When I couldn't distinguish between pinyin and letters, my brother had already started the 2nd grade of junior high school. He always wins at the starting line. All the mothers in the community group admire me very much. My mother asked him how he taught such a good son. My mother removed the shrimp threads of the newly bought shrimps little by little, chopped them up, and put them into the hollowed out dried garlic moss little by little, influenced them little by little with love. He said helplessly to Nanshan, "Sean doesn't like to eat onions." When he was a child, I really tried every possible way to cook all kinds of dishes with onions. If he didn't eat it, I would accompany him and not eat it either. He pointed at me. Later, we had a daughter by chance. Because he was picky about food, he weighed only 15 kilograms when he was born. He was born with an ordinary nature. I didn't expect anything from him in this life, so I just let him get along with me. The aunt said it was good. My mother showed them the new dishes, and he refused to eat them. I could only think of a way. I hollowed out the garlic shoots one by one, and then put the shrimp meat in and stir-fried it. He didn't feel uncomfortable. Raising a child is sometimes a battle of wits and courage. The aunts admired him and said it was no wonder that your Nanshan was so outstanding. My mother said there was no way, this is how my life will be, and I would sacrifice everything to help my children win at the starting line. The aunt said, "Look how hard your mother works." I said, "But my brother doesn't like to eat shrimp, Mom. Why don't you give it to me? I like to eat it." My mom said, "What are you eating? Your brother studies hard. Give it to your brother." When my brother came back in the evening, he said it again at the dining table. There were exactly 2 lion's head and 2 fried eggs. Mom asked us to eat first. She wanted to wash the dishes first. My brother said he would wash them after eating since he had to wash them together anyway. Mom just urged us to eat first. My brother gave me one and there was one left. Mom told my brother that the lion's head used the best pork belly. 30 yuan a pound, from the position of the hind leg of the native pig. Mom chopped it for an afternoon. Mom won't eat it if she doesn't, you can eat it. My brother said, "Mom, you eat it." Mom glared at me and said, "Mom doesn't want you to eat it, you are growing up. Eat garlic sprouts fried meat." My mother picked up some vegetables for my brother. I watched secretly. My brother frowned slightly when he took the first bite, but he still endured it and ate it without chewing. My mother picked up a full chopstick for him again, and my brother continued to eat with a blank expression. After that, my mother glanced at him and was about to pick up the third chopstick for him, but my brother suddenly picked up the bowl, buried his head very low, and shoveled white rice into his mouth with all his strength. My mother did not move, just stared at my brother. I shamelessly stretched out the bowl to her and said, "Mom, give it to me, I want to eat." My mother still looked at my brother, without saying anything or moving. He finally called out, "Nanshan." My brother shoveled rice with his mouth bulging. He called out, "Chen Nanshan" again. My brother was still shoveling rice. My mother suddenly put down her chopsticks and stood up. He walked to the room and slammed the door. My brother was still shoveling rice. I looked at the door of the room and then at my brother. My brother, "Mom is gone. Don't eat anymore." My brother raised his head and said, I'm not hungry at all. The meat from the front and back legs and the right hind leg of the pig, chopped with a meat grinder and a kitchen knife, are all the same. They all have the shrimp smell that I hate the most, the fishy smell of him. In this Cold War, my brother didn't try to coax Mom like he did before. He had classes from morning to night every day, and went into the room to Mom after school. Mom lay in the room for 2 days, and my brother didn't look for him, so he got up and searched inch by inch in his brother's room. Finally, behind the grid schedule, he found something different. It was the trace of a blurred photo. Only a few flowers were left on the photo, and the original appearance could not be seen clearly behind the paper. Mom found a magnifying glass and looked at it bit by bit. That afterimage, after seeing it, she called the head teacher. Her tone was firm. The child used to be very well behaved, but suddenly changed and hid the photo. The 2-inch photo used for student ID should be short hair. Puberty has arrived. There must be something wrong. What did the head teacher say? The mother said, "Teacher, can you please give me a list of girls in his grade?" The mother has a good memory. She remembers everyone who appears around her brother, and she has made precise selections for her brother's friends. In fact, on her brother's 10th birthday, 2 classmates who sent gifts were blocked by their mother at the school gate. After asking about his grades and family situation, her brother didn't have many friends. After the head teacher declined, he went to the school gate to wait for the head teacher. From elementary school to the 2nd year of junior high school, Chan Nanshan got 739 full marks. According to the plan, he will study under you until the 3rd year of junior high school. I came to you for his own good. If he really has adolescent fluctuations, it will affect the honor of the entire city C in the future. If you can't even take this responsibility, then I don't mind transferring him to another school and giving this honor to a teacher who deserves him more. The head teacher rejected me, and my mother took me as a cover to sneak into the school and went directly to the grade director. This time he got the opportunity to check the list on the computer. He commented on them one by one, saying that this one was too active, that one had an impatient personality, these few loved to dress up, their minds were not on studying, and they could not sit next to their brother. The grade director showed a regretful expression on his face. There has been no student from Tsinghua University or Peking University in X middle school for 3 consecutive years. Do you want to ruin this seedling? I didn't go directly to the teacher today. Out of respect for teachers, I want to communicate with you first. It's not that I'm afraid of things. When he saw the list of the next class, he saw a familiar name, Suye. Director, you didn't say they were in the adjacent class, one in the first row of class A, and one in the last row of class B. The grade director asked what. My mother said that at the beginning of the school year. I sent it to several teachers and you about Nanshan's characteristics, personality and learning analysis, as well as guidance and precautions, a total of 27 pages. Didn't you read it? The grade director was embarrassed, looking at me squatting on the ground playing cards. My mother began to read the analysis and information he gave to my brother. He read one by one. The grade director's face became more and more complicated, and curious students outside began to gather around. Someone heard Suye's name. Fearing that the world would not chaos, went to call people. Amid the noise, my brother who came to the cafeteria to get food also came. My mother's voice was still faint and gentle. Chan Nanshan is the genius I spent 14 years to cultivate. I will not allow any little bitch to ruin him in advance. He is indeed a cultured person. He cursed so calmly. My mother turned around and concluded that Suye must transfer schools. The head of the grade laughed angrily. My brother is 6 years older than me, and is as tall as Mom at almost 13 years old. He went to hold Mom's hand, but Mom shook him off, stubbornly lowered her head and tried to hold him again. Mom sneered and turned to look at the girl at the door. Suye, right? Suye is not round at all. She is as thin as a reed stick, with a little dark skin and very delicate. I have seen this sister. Twice when she went to school, I saw my brother deliberately tying his shoelaces and then walking behind them. His mother said, Suye, I taught my son for 13 years, but you are not as good as me in looking at his little face for 3 days. Why did you pester him to learn Olympiad mathematics when he was young, and seduce him with the same school when he grew up? I don't understand. Since you like him, what good will it do you to harm my son? Suye's face flushed red. I didn't. My mother said it's easy to prove that you didn't. Turn on the surveillance in the corridor and at the school gate this semester. As long as you haven't talked, I will believe that you didn't. He looked carefully into Suye's eyes, examining her vigilantly, like a female leopard. Do you dare? If you have talked, you will transfer to another school. Suye's eyes turned red. It's useless to call her Aunt Mom. Her brother calls her Mom. Her mother said that she had expected that men would become bad when they have money. My son only has 20 yuan pocket money a week. After breakfast, there is no money left to buy a glass of water after dinner. You are so rude. You use the money your dad earns from sweeping the streets to pay for it. The brother's voice is full of despair. Mom, please don't say it. He dares to be a cheapskate. I can't say it. If you don't want others to know, then don't do it. Mom said, I have marked the position of the buttons and zippers on your clothes every day. When you came back last Friday, your zipper is in the wrong position and there are signs that your clothes have been torn. I asked the head teacher, your 2 classes were the only ones delayed from school that day. Explain it. Suye's tears fell. I didn't know it all. Brother was angry, standing in front of Suye. Are you sick? If you are sick, Mom smiled, distressed. Now she started to protect. Brother was furious. You are sick, a psychopath. He stretched out his hand and pushed Mom hard. Get out. Get out. Get out. Mom's smile froze. She stood firm and quickly raised the corners of her mouth again. You think I'm sick today? It doesn't matter. You will know who is doing good for you when you grow up. Chan Nanshan, I sacrificed everything to send you to school, not to let you fall in love. If you can't control your lower body, you will ruin your second half of life sooner or later. What nonsense are you talking about? Brother was really angry. At this time, Suye behind him said, I don't like you. Chan Nanshan, I don't like Chan Nanshan. Brother paused at this sentence. His face was like being slapped by someone, and all the anger he had just shown to defend Suye disappeared in an instant, like a huge balloon that was suddenly pierced by a gun while inflating. Mom immediately laughed. Chun Nanshan, look at yourself, you are so ridiculous. You don't even care about your mother. You have to protect someone but he doesn't like you. For him, you hid his photo behind the college entrance examination oath-taking ceremony. You go out on time every day. Are you ridiculous? I don't have a brother. Su Yaya has already run away. There are people all around. My brother's face is so white as a wall. I suddenly felt an unspeakable fear. I squeezed over and pushed my mother. Mom, please don't say it. Mom gave my brother a look and said, you don't have to say it. If your brother surrenders and explains what he did wrong, I will give him some face today. The old account was turned over to the night 3 days ago. My mother waited for my brother's belated surrender, just like every time he surrendered, but my brother turned around, opened the door and ran out. I wanted to chase him but my mother pulled me and asked what I was chasing. He couldn't even bear this little psychological pressure. How would he take the college entrance examination and enter the society in the future? But my brother was not panicked at all. My son, I know you still have some ability to withstand pressure. It's redundant, you see. 1 punch is enough to prevent 100 punches. From today on, at least your brother can study in peace for 3 years in junior high school. He was still talking when there was a sudden bang outside, followed by a scream. My brother jumped off the building. He didn't even jump but jumped down headfirst. He didn't want to live at all. Mom held my hand and froze for a moment. Brother. I screamed and cried. Mom hugged me as I was about to run out to sea. The police car and ambulance arrived. A white cloth covered my mother. She looked like she had aged 10 years. Her hands were dry and hard. She pulled me away with all her strength. On the other hand, when she loved my brother, it seemed as if she loved him to the bone. But at this moment, her heart seemed to have turned into steel and stone. He said it was redundant. From now on you will be my only and most precious daughter. Mom, will I give you all the love I gave to my brother. I cried myself to sleep that night. And then my mother carried me to my brother's room. In the middle of the night, I heard my mother calling my father. I will make you an excellent child again. At 6 o'clock the next day, my mother woke me up. Her eyes were bloodshot and her mouth was tightly pursed. It's redundant. Mom didn't sleep all night. She finished analyzing your situation. You have a very poor foundation. I rubbed my swollen eyes. In front of Mom were all my 1st and 2nd grade elementary school work, textbooks, homework and test papers, with dense circles around you. You made the same mistakes in the 2nd grade, including the wrong back nasal pinion in the 1st grade. The rules of 4 arithmetic operations are from left to right, first multiplication and division, then addition and subtraction. You made such a basic mistake 14 times. It's redundant. How can you still sleep? He showed me the brand new schedule and progress chart. Fortunately, you are only in the 2nd grade now. The early bird catches the worm. If you change to a good school, you still have a chance. I was so sleepy that I yawned accidentally. Mom frowned slightly. Sean, when you were this old, you would have gotten up by yourself without me calling you. Your brother's greatest wish in this life is to go to Peking University. Are you doing him justice? Your brother risked his life for your opportunity to study. After the accident yesterday, Mom asked for a place in a key class for me on the grounds that she refused to take your brother back. I was stuck in the middle of a yawn, as if it was a dream. But when I woke up I found that everything was real. I thought of my brother and I started crying. Mom said that according to the memory spectrum method, 6 to 10 in the morning is the best stage for memory. Are you sure you want to spend all this time crying? Only the weak will cry. I said I am a weak person, I will be a weak person, I will insist on being a weak person. Mom will teach you how to become strong. When can I go to see my brother? Today Mom will teach you the first lesson. The weak are not qualified to make requests. At 7:30 in the morning Mom sent me to school on time. She began to care about me and asked me to change clothes 3 times, but I still frowned. How come the sleeves are so much shorter and the pants are shorter too? They are obviously the same ones and I have been wearing them for 2 years. He cares that I don't eat fruits and carrots for breakfast, so he prepared 3 kinds of fruit and vegetable juice that I hate the most for me. While I was eating, he calculated the fragmented time between classes today and assigned me 12 words and 2 poems. Mom doesn't want to push you too hard, but we are already behind. If we round off the zeros and study 1 more hour than others every day, we will have 365 more hours a year, which is almost a semester's class. Your brother skipped 2 grades more than you, so in 4 years when you are in the 6th grade, you will be able to catch up with his progress. I said, what if I can't catch up? It's impossible. This is the best elementary school in the city. This opportunity is precious. Your brother is waiting for you. Do you think you can catch up? On the way we met the ants in the community. The ants had complicated and curious expressions on their faces. Mom took the initiative to announce that we were redundant and were going to transfer schools. He said the name of the key elementary school that was super difficult to get into, and the ants paid attention. The power was immediately attracted. Without a school district house, how can I get into this school? Mom, wait a minute. They owe me something. They owe me more than I deserve. The envy and agreement of the ants made Mom's face look a little better. After getting out of the elevator, he began to teach me. See, facing failure, escape is not a solution. You only need 1 more success and others will continue to envy you. Do you know that failure, brother, is just a failure? I looked at his open and closed mouth and answered. I don't know what he frowned at me. I clenched my fists hard. I don't know what he meant. He pressed the elevator door button calmly and gently, just waiting for me to finish yelling. He squatted slightly and looked into my eyes, venting the excess. Are you feeling better? During the morning rush hour, people on the 1st floor were waiting to go upstairs. Someone queuing outside asked Mom anxiously, why are you occupying the elevator? Mom ignored him and only cared about me slowly. Mom knew you were under a lot of pressure. Are you feeling better now? People outside were cursing and saying that they would educate their children outside and let him move away quickly. Mom's eyes widened. She turned around and scolded. Whoever bullies my child will fight with me. He turned around and looked at me. Don't be afraid. Mom will protect you with her life. Tell Mom, do you know what Mom said just now? Did you hear it? There were more people outside and everyone was staring at me. They didn't dare to mess with Mom, so they all looked at me, urging me with their eyes, saying that as long as I said I knew, the matter would be over. I still said I didn't know. Mom's face changed. Finally, a junior high school student who was studying came in anxiously to get something and squeezed Mom out. When we left the community gate, Mom kept taking deep breaths to control her emotions. She used all her strength to adjust her expression and looked at me calmly again. It's unnecessary. You wasted the first fragmented time today. You have to delay your bedtime by 10 minutes tonight. I was transferred to class 2 grade 2. During the break, my desk mate asked me if I was the sister of Chan Nanshan who jumped off the building. The other girls looked at me with a smile. I have been like this since I was a child. I can sense the faint malice in other people's words. They smiled at me and I smiled slowly too. Then my desk mate laughed loudly. Hey, your brother jumped off the building. You won't jump off the building in the future, will you? I smiled even sweeter. Maybe then I will hold you and jump together. His friends widened their eyes and began to scold me for being vicious and saying that they would teach me a lesson. This was just the beginning. I had experienced this level of quarrel in the kindergarten class. Even when we fought, my mother basically didn't care about me. I had to do it all by myself. I still remember when I just entered elementary school. I had a fight with my desk mate one day and went home. My mother was telling my brother that if he got into that key junior high school, she would take him and me on a trip. I was about to complain because my arm was bitten and bleeding, but I wanted to go out and play with my brother so much that I endured it and didn't say anything. Then the next day my desk mate wanted to bully me again, saying that his aunt was a teacher at the school, and no one dared to control me. I just rolled up my sleeves, circled the big tooth mark with a big red fountain pen, and ran exercises with my hands raised. In physical education class, I have been a fast runner since I was a child. The principal he grabbed me as I ran over and asked me what was wrong. I immediately started crying in front of him. The principal wiped my tears, but they couldn't be wiped away. I pouted and said I wanted to have lunch with him, and I forgave that careless desk mate. We ate in the cafeteria and my desk mate got me lunch. After that, he never dared to mess with me again. I went back and told my brother excitedly about the good fight I had fought today, but my brother hung his head and said he had no travel plans. My mother tore up his passport and arranged 3 summer improvement classes for him because he lost 3 points in Chinese composition. In the familiar quarrel, the leading girl was scolded by me and cried. Her companions wanted to fight, so I grabbed the strongest one and slapped her once, and then slapped her again. When I had enough, I waited for the girl to fight back. I waited for her to hit me until the teacher came and pulled her away in a panic. It seems that I was born with a kind of viciousness and indifference. I am different from my brother. I can't understand the painful and burdensome love of my mother. I just feel strange. I can't understand too much pain. I only know no one in the class would laugh at my brother for bullying me again. My mother was called to the school before the end of the day. This time he came quickly. After the other parent apologized, my mother forgave him immediately after knowing that he worked in the education bureau. She also told the teacher to let me sit at the same table with the girl who had the fight, and to get along well with classmates. We should not back down when we encounter setbacks. We should not stop at him, and we should not be like our brother, right? The teacher was silent. Only the girl looked into my eyes and screamed loudly in fear. The study plan for the first day was a mess. When I got home, my mother didn't ask me about today, but only asked me how much I had completed in my studies. She said, "Today's work should be done today." Then she took out the homework and circled the classes I missed today. I couldn't finish those classes even if I didn't sleep all night. I didn't want to write at all. The nosebleed stopped and the scar on my face scabbed over. My mother took a look and found that my eyes were not hurt and my hands were fine. I kept writing. I drew circles on the paper with a pen. My mother made soup for me and set the alarm. Every 10 minutes, as soon as I fell asleep, he woke me up. I said I had a stomachache and went to the toilet, then locked the door and slept inside. After 10 minutes, my mother called me, but I didn't respond. She started knocking on the door, then banging on it, and then banging on it, but the door was very strong. Finally, it was quiet outside the door. I was about to continue sleeping when suddenly there were a few bangs, followed by the sound of a knife chopping. The door opened and my mother was holding a kitchen knife. He kicked the lock aside and got up. After I got up, he looked at me for a while with the kitchen knife, and suddenly walked to my room and one by one, he chopped the locks on my brother's and my room doors. My mother's style was also calm. In the past, I neglected you and made you not know the standards of right and wrong in many things. Today I am not angry with you, and I will explain it to you slowly in the future. I looked at him and he was really not angry. I walked over and smashed the kitchen glass with a stick. The fragments fell on the balcony with a crash, and half of the community was alarmed. I was beaten the most viciously. My butt was purple and my feet were swollen. Here is Mom's bottom line. After she finished beating me, she tidied her clothes, panting. I don't regret beating you today, and I don't regret it. I know that if I continue to finish my homework today, I will have endless homework. After I get beaten today, I can at least rest for 2 hours. Mom is right. In fact, I am very similar to him. He has the planning and I also have his viciousness. I also spent a semester to let him know that there is no hope for my grades. What the teacher said, I always got it wrong. I was wrong last time, but I was right next time, and I was wrong again the next time. I was in the top 30 in an ordinary primary school and in the top 30 in a key primary school. There were dozens of study plans at home. In the new semester, after a summer makeup class, I did not pass English. My mother was very angry. She refused to go to the parent-teacher meeting. How could you sleep? He woke me up at 1 a.m. on the first night of school. Your brother gave you this opportunity with his life. Your grades are a mess. How could you sleep? He took a deep breath. I made mistakes one by one. I looked at him and waited for him to explain the questions. After he finished, he asked me if I understood. I didn't understand, so he explained it again. I still said I didn't understand. The third time, he suddenly got furious and slapped me in the face. Did you do it on purpose? I said no, I just didn't understand. The calm expression in the mirror was exactly the same as the curve on his face before. He got furious again and slapped me in the face like a storm. I ran away. He closed the door. I tried to push him, but he pressed me hard on the sofa. A pillow blocked my nose. How could you be so stupid? I felt short of breath and my lungs were about to explode. When I was about to lose consciousness, fresh air rushed in again. Mom was sad and hurt again, and her heart started crying. I just wanted you to study well. I sacrificed my job and my figure for you. I even met your dad a few times a year and you forgot. I love you so much. What did I do wrong to give birth to you, this evil creature? What do you want? Mom won't give it to you. I asked you to combine work and rest. You already have so much less homework than your brother. What else do you want? You want a puppy. Mom said that I will give it to you when you get first place. It's up to you to choose. What I once told my brother fell into my ears again. He forgot that I have a good memory. I just pretended not to be good. The puppy he was talking about was not the one I liked but my brother's. That year my brother got a puppy as a reward. The next month the puppy was thrown out because of the wrong word. I said I didn't know. Mom, did you teach me wrongly? It's the same lesson. How come I can understand it when my classmates explain it? It's strange, isn't it? Mom, what's wrong with your method? There was a snap, but I just couldn't understand what you said. Mom, why don't you explain it again? He stood up suddenly. You bastard, you just won't rebel. The advanced Montessori education is not suitable for you. You are suitable for this. He took out the clothes hanger. My brother was gone. Mom no longer pretended to be that gentle and elegant, highly educated woman. I no longer pretended to be smart, well-behaved, and spoiled. My sister, my mother doesn't hit people in the face but on their bodies. It's okay. The next day I wore short sleeves. The aunties in the community saw this and no longer said that their mother loved them. They looked at me with sympathy and whispered about what happened before. I knew that I couldn't force the child so hard. My mother was furious and scolded me back. Shut up, you know shit. He turned his head and looked at me viciously. If you are satisfied, Mom will have a new daughter and will not want you anymore. These are the most vicious words for children, but they have no lethality to me. My life returned to the way it was before. There were no 3 kinds of unpalatable fruit and vegetable juice in the morning. Mom no longer cared about my clothes. Dinner became leftovers from lunch. Mom began to take medicine seriously. She began to test every period. In the past, she was always easily angry before her period, but now she is also angry a week before her period. Just wait for you. He said that if you can improve your grades, I don't have to work so hard. It seems that the child was asked for me. He said that I am not qualified to sleep in the room of the academic bully. I went back to the small room and cleaned out my brother's things. Except for his reading notes and homework, all the other drawing books were packed up and thrown away. I went to the trash can to pick them up and read them one by one over and over again. In fact, he didn't know that I knew all the homework. The lessons taught by the teacher were not difficult. My brother's notes had everything I could learn in annotations. After I said that I was afraid of studying, he prepared everything for me. I also inherited everything from my brother, including his good friends. I had to give them money every month like my brother, but I could give more because I also saved the breakfast money. By the 7th month, my mother was 5 months pregnant, and I had lost weight to 60 kilograms. I already had 600 yuan, and my 2 brothers' friends were all over 18. When I gave them the money, the 600 yuan accidentally leaked out and they took it all away. When I walked out of the alley without surveillance, I messed up my hair and cried as I walked. Suyeye ran into me and asked me what was wrong. I cried. Pointing to the 2 boys inside, I just came out and saw Suyeye and the others knew each other. I asked Suyeye if she wanted to play games together. Suyeye grabbed me and ran away. He called the police for me. I was of age and had the amount. Both of them were locked up. The other party's parents made a scene at home. Mom didn't believe it. How could it be possible? His grades in elementary school were so good, and his grades in junior high school were also good. The police frowned. Grades can't represent a person. Do you know that they have been blackmailing your son? Mom said, how could it be possible? He asked me why I didn't say anything. Would it be useful if I told you? Brother tells you that it started the first time. What did Mom say at that time? She said that you can't be too stingy. It's normal to treat friends to drinks for a few dollars. She said that my brother was so stingy, no wonder he couldn't make friends. She also asked him to bring homemade cakes to apologize because these 2 friends were carefully selected by Mom. They lived in the community and had high social status and good families. Mom said I thought he had a dementia. My brother has painted more than 20 art books. They are all stacked in the box at the door. Didn't Mom check the homework every day? Oh, I forgot, Mom doesn't check the rubbish homework like art. Those 2 guys never thought the problem was so serious. More things were dug up. My brother was bullied for a long time and even that time his collar was broken. Mom said it was because of Suyeye. That time he was pulled apart by these 2 people who were trying to grab money in order to let Suyeye leave first. Mom stood there and listened halfway, her lips trembling a little. How could it be possible? Nanshan never said that. I looked at my mother. As long as she had a little regret, as long as she had a little distress for my brother, I said, Mom, do you still remember that there was a photo behind a study sheet? Mom turned to look at me. That photo was not of Suyaya, that was of you, Mom. We had agreed to travel together. Mom tore up her passport, and my brother pieced the broken photos together bit by bit. My brother said that Mom's wish for the new year was to travel together. So he made this wish. He lost 3 points in the Chinese composition because the topic was my hometown. My brother only knew about the community school and cram school, so he could only write about the park passing by the community. He murmured and refused to believe it, so he was resenting me. There was no him, there had never been. Mom said no, she just resented him, she just resented it for not being him. There was no more than 20 picture books, one for each year, the back of Mother in the kitchen, Mother writing a plan, Mother looking happy and superior without a lot of love. How can so much domestication be supported? You parents can't just care about your children's studies. The policeman couldn't help but say. The mother was furious. Is this my fault? Cowardice is really cowardice. How could I give birth to such a cowardly son? His eyes were red and finally stomped his feet. I heard him say he deserved it. He deserved it. I suddenly pounced on him and knocked him to the ground. Just a second, Mother reacted. I got a solid slap in the face. My hair was grabbed and thrown to the table. My nose was bleeding. The mother was pulled away. He struggled to slap me hard again. You loser, you killed your brother. And you are going to kill your sister if you hadn't always covered for your brother. How could he be so fragile in his heart? You are right, it's all you. She is never wrong, it's others who are wrong, just like the child in her belly. The doctor clearly said that there might be problems with this child, and recommended amniocentesis and Down syndrome screening, but he said that the time and method of pregnancy of this child, and the medicine he took were exactly the same as his son. How could there be a problem? He cursed at home, saying that even if I was stupid, I would not be stupider than you, a fool, and all his love was based on success, performance and face. Once they are gone, he will show the most terrible look, just like treating a stock he has bought. I looked at him coldly. Brother is fragile because brother loves you. You are not fragile because you don't love him at all. Mom said I sacrificed so much. I gave up my job for him. I was a college student and a housewife. I gained so much weight for him, ruined my figure and did so much. Of course he should love me. I said, do you think I don't know? Mom looked at me. You didn't resign at all. You never went out to work. You went to a junior college. You didn't even get your diploma. You didn't even pass the CT4 in college. You had so much before you got married. I weighed so many pounds after I got married. It's not because of us that I got fat. And all the aunties in the community know it. When you tell people about parenting, they all know it. You saw it on the internet and they are all laughing at you. My mother rushed over to hit me again and I tore your mouth. The result of my madness this time was that my mother said that I was rotten to the core, and that I had grown wings. She would treat me as if she didn't have a daughter and would never love me again. She called my father, who was sent abroad, and said that she would send me to the countryside. I have no extra IQ and I will be useless. I am a bad thing. I don't want a useless debt collector anymore, and you shouldn't want me either. I will give you back a child like Nanshan, my father. He was sent abroad when he was 3 years old. He only needed to make money. When he was studying, he was only responsible for studying. When he was working, he was only responsible for working. When he was a father, he was only responsible for responding. He loved his life simply to the point of being cruel to others. He didn't care about family affairs and children's education. He was like a zombie. Occasionally, he would suddenly come back to life and then discipline us strictly, especially me. My mother called him and heard his father saying on the radio that this child was poisonous. Except for his brother. He was not close to anyone and seemed to have no heart. It would be okay to have another child. A son would be the best. My mother said proudly that it would be most likely a son. I looked at the Qing Palace pictures. After my mother finished speaking, she turned to look at me and sneered at me for being heartless. Didn't they say that a daughter is a father's little cotton-padded jacket? Even your father said that you are not good and he has no feelings for you. Feelings need to be cultivated, not a gift of blood. I finished elementary school in the countryside. My grandparents didn't understand and didn't care about me. I skipped 2 grades and they were only responsible for signing. When I was in junior high school, my mother had a new daughter. The new daughter was beautiful, with white set and big eyes. When the new daughter was 1 year old, my mother came to see me. I was running around in school. That month's exam, I ranked second to last. The teacher told my mother that it was unnecessary because I usually had good grades, so why did it suddenly happen? My mother was disappointed and sarcastically said, "Don't flatter him. I don't know what level he is at." When my new daughter was in kindergarten, I went to a junior high school in the countryside. My mother came again. He looked much more haggard. When he saw me, he asked me if I knew I was wrong. I said, was it my fault for saying you didn't have a job? Or was it my fault for swearing at people? Which one? My mother was so angry that she trembled. Come back with me now. Your life can still be saved. In this kind of rural middle school, your life is ruined. The head teacher frowned and looked at him, and it was clear I told her the reason why I wanted him to keep silent. Mom softened her tone and said, I heard that you ranked 3rd in the class this time. With this score, you have great potential as long as you get tutoring. I laughed and said, I copied it, but it wasn't me who copied it. I asked my desk mate and the desk behind me to copy it. We tied for first place and I ranked 3rd by last name. My mom looked at me with a pale face. I said, what should I do? I'm just very stupid and can't learn well. My mom looked at my new clothes and asked, how do you have money to buy clothes? I laughed and said, I stole it. In junior high school, I had a living allowance of 100 yuan per month for 3 years, including sanitary napkins. If it weren't for the school subsidy and the teacher support, it would have been very difficult to survive. What about your hair? Oh, I picked it up and sold it for 300 yuan. Didn't grandma tell you, so I cut off my living allowance for 3 months? Mom stood there speechless. There was regret in her eyes. The bell rang and I ran away. I went to the classroom, and my mother hadn't come for a long time. I won the first place in the province in the junior high school physics competition. and was successfully admitted to the high school ahead of schedule. I kept the list of students and the certificate with my class teacher. When I got home, my grandmother's phone was blown up. It was my mother who called. I saw that Douyin video which said that the first place in the competition was called Chandwayu and I won the prize. Haha, what a thing, same name? My mother sneered and I knew it. How could it be possible? You can't even copy the grades. How can you be half as smart as your brother with your pig brain? Yes, mom, how is your new daughter raised? We are both good at attacking each other. The phone was filled with the screams of a child and my mother hung up the phone. When I went to high school ahead of schedule, my mother's new daughter finally went to elementary school. She couldn't take care of me. When I was in the 3rd year of high school, she estimated that I would almost graduate from junior high school, and everything was settled in the summer after the college entrance examination. On June 20th I was working during the summer vacation, and she finally called me. My mom said that I had completed my 9 years of compulsory education. If I want to continue studying, I should go home and explain things clearly. High school is not that easy. Without the support of my parents, how long can you keep stubborn? I said that I would not go to high school anymore and go to work. The boss was urging me in the restaurant. My mom heard something and said, "You are really working?" "Yes, 3,000 a month. Next week I am going to work in the factory with food and accommodation provided. I heard that it is 5,000 a month plus overtime pay. You have worked hard to study." My mom hesitated for a while and said, "Do you have to be like this with your mother? Your sister is not very well. Your mother can help you when you come back. If you want to go to high school, I can help you." I said, "No matter how dumb you are smarter than me. I am also vicious. Forget your mother." My mother got excited and said to me, "She always finds it difficult to control her emotions. If it were not for you, hit him, his brain won't be so bad. He is in the senior class now, but he still can't go to the toilet by himself. The teacher said to take him to the hospital. Shouldn't you be responsible? Going to the hospital can't delay. Which hospital should mom go to? I don't know my child yet. He is just a little late in maturing. How could there be a problem? You are the elder sister, you have to take responsibility. Haven't you learned anything from how your brother treated you?" I said, "This is the product of your happy times. Why should I be responsible?" Mom paused. "How can you be so vicious?" "Thanks to mom's good teaching, mom, I'm going to work." You think the most useless kind of temporary job is the one who doesn't go crazy. Turns out that it is others who are crazy. I hung up the phone. My college entrance examination score is enough for me to go to an excellent university. I chose a school in the special zone and applied for a full scholarship. The day I got the admission notice, all the schools in the town, they were all shocked. My name was written on the honor roll in elementary and junior high schools. I was ranked 27th in the province and 1st in the county twice. After sharing the new high school, I returned to my junior high school. The head teacher excitedly applauded me, and I walked up to hug him. The teachers prepared many gifts for me, and the enthusiastic companies prepared rewards for me. I bowed to thank them one by one. The strange but sincere warmth and the long-lost familiar feeling were like the candies my brother left for me when I was a child, and the finger that woke me up in the middle of the night to brush my teeth. It will be better and better. Just be patient and you will pass elementary school, and you will pass junior high school. No, my dear brother, it will get better and better, but you must stay away from things that are getting worse and worse. Look, sincere love never has a purpose and necessary equal return. There is no need to pretend in the overflowing smiles and blessings. Tears fall by themselves. I was holding my brother's last picture book, and all the graduation plans in it were being realized by me one by one. When I got on the car, mom and dad finally arrived. Not only did they come, they also brought their new daughter. The new daughter, who was wearing beautiful clothes, had wide eyes. As soon as she got off the car, she started calling dad and scolding grandpa and grandma for not telling them such a big thing. Grandpa and grandma said that we old people don't understand. We only knew that he was admitted and only found out that it was university when he arrived, but it was not time for him to go to university. Mom let go of my sister's hand and rushed over. How is it possible? Shouldn't he be in the 3rd grade of junior high school now? Isn't he working part-time? He has good grades while washing dishes. He skipped 3 grades, twice in elementary school and once in junior high school. Don't you know? Such a genius child is really rare. Mom looked at me in disbelief. How is it possible? How is it possible? I didn't even give him any extra lessons, and those plans he couldn't do any of them well. I still remember that he didn't understand the 4 arithmetic operations, he couldn't do the questions, he also fought, he even stole money. How could he? He was incoherent, stammering, dumbfounded. The head teacher stepped forward and said, "You must have made a mistake. Dwayu is both excellent in character and academic performance. He has always been a 3-good student and a model student in the school. If it was based on grades, any parent would know that he had good grades if they asked one more question. How come you don't know?" The mother murmured, "It's impossible. How could it be possible? He must have copied. You check the surveillance. He must have copied. How could it be impossible? He won the 1st place in the province in the physics competition, the 2nd place in the biology competition, and the 1st place in the New Morning Cup English competition." The father also opened his mouth wide. "This is the waste daughter you told me. You said he was a waste. You said this Tienda was a genius." He looked at the new daughter with disgust. "You lied to me and threw Dwayu to the countryside. You were wrong. The best time for us to cultivate our relationship has passed. What can you use to make up for it?" I frowned. "We didn't have much relationship in the 1st place. I am your father." "He used to act like a father, right? We gave you living expenses. Remember, we will pay it back in the future according to the bank interest rate of the same period. By the way, the pension will also be given according to the court's requirements. Mom said you are so successful. Can you leave us? If it weren't for me, he was stuck." The physical education teacher had a loud voice. "There are parents like you. In order to chase your son and daughter, you throw them out and don't care. You don't even know what grade they are in. The living expenses are not enough for food. It's pitiful for me to follow you. What kind of schedule? You also sent a message in the class group saying that you are responsible. It's better to worry about yourself first than to worry about the child every day. One has accomplished nothing, the other is muddle-headed, you have high requirements for the child, and now the child is still studying and wants money, bah, good scolding. My dad looked at the physical education teacher. I didn't dare to step forward because of my body. My mother showed a look of great regret in her eyes. So redundant. Mom doesn't know that I have been thinking about you for so many years. It's Tienda who prevents Mom from leaving. Why don't we put Tienda in the countryside and you go back with Mom? I looked at him and he didn't say anything. Tienda understood and bit him. He was so bad that he threw me to hit him. He was so strong that my mother's face turned red and tears came out in pain. So redundant. Look at Mom. Please help Mom. I walked out, I was shaking my 4 legs and crying. I don't want Ultraman, I want my brother. Brother signaled that I should go to the next game and start sharing. Then I will go to the travel place that brother mentioned at the beginning. I want to take a look for him. At this time I walked out step by step with the notebook. If they take a look, if they really care, if they really have loved that child, they will recognize the son's handwriting above, they will remember the promise that was not spoken, but they are not a clearly defined group of people. I took a last look at them. The mother was tightly entangled by the new daughter. The 3 of them were arguing and intertwining with each other like the DNA spiral molecule that cannot be untied. The pain was sharp, but they could no longer break free. The moment I closed the car door, I put my brother's notebook into my backpack, took out my own notebook, wrote down the 2 donations just given to me, the paintbrush gift given to me by my junior sister, and the floral scarf that my grandmother wanted. All those tiny bits of beauty, which my brother taught me, are recorded one by one, and when we meet again one day in the future, it will be like the perfume bottle pressed in our hands at a certain moment, a long-lost reunion through time, covering it again and again, becoming the background color of our own lives, as fragrant as we want. The end.